from Studio 113 in Walson Hall, this is MBC News.
Welcome to MBC News. I'm Lauren Zipkin.
And I'm Gabe Bernstein.
So, Gabe, how about that zombie apocalypse that happened this weekend?
Well, it was quite frightening, but I hear we're in good hands since Detective Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead is coming to save us.
Oh my, that is quite interesting.
Yes, it is. And what about the alien invasion? What do you think about that? What do you think our chances are?
I don't know. I mean, we do have our own supply of hovercrafts, but it's hard to say with them. You know, we don't know their weaponry very well yet.
That's true. So, Lauren, why don't you tell us what's going on this week on campus?
Welcome. The time has come for MBC to once again select the most important news stories and broadcast them to the Muhlenberg population of Pan Am. As usual, top stories first. Firstly, Muhlenberg College is proud to welcome its newest staff member, Sinner. Sinner will be joining the Theatre and Dance Department as an Associate Professor of Costume Design. He will begin his journey at Muhlenberg by delivering a lecture in the Great Room Monday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. sharp. His lecture will be on the importance of making an impression, how costume choice can define your character and persona, and on the history of synthetic fire. Oh, I just love that. Hamish Abernathy will be conducting a seminar on the dangers of binge drinking on Tuesday, April 3rd in room 128 in the Life Sports Centre at 8 p.m. sharp. All students are encouraged to attend, especially students between the ages of 18 and 20. This is not yet confirmed, but in the past, Hamish has enjoyed teaching through example, so be sure to wear something, dare I say it, simple, just in case. Peter Malak will be teaming with the students of ENACT to serve bread, cakes, and cookies to the students of Muhlenberg also on Tuesday, April 3rd, during the dinner hours in the Wood Dining Commons. If you remember anything from Peter's lecture last semester, Frosting, the Last Defense of the Dying, you can bet those cakes and cookies will be exquisitely decorated. I can also confirm that there will be the signature bread from each district offered, and we wouldn't want to miss that now, would we? Also be sure to admire the new mahogany tables. The registrar has announced that Katniss Everdeen will be adding yet another section of Physical Education 345, Archery for Novices. This new 5th section will be taught Mondays and Wednesdays, 12:30 to 1:45. Supplemental topics include hunting and gathering, berry identification, and surviving on dandelions. And Saturday morning, 8 a.m. sharp, we will be selecting one courageous young man and woman for the honor of representing Muhlenberg College in the 74th Annual Hunger Games. A reminder straight from President Helm himself, the Hunger Games are the annual competition in which one boy and girl from each dormitory are offered up in tribute to eat competitively in the Wood Dining Commons. The last tribute standing will win a lifetime supply of their favorite foods being served at every meal. The event is sure to be a big day, so happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Well, that's it for the news. Now to Gabriel with athletics.
All right, so in sports news, the ski team had a great match yesterday, even though there was no snow on the mountain. I don't know how they did it. The crew team also had a great day, and so did the squash team. I don't know, guys, but looks like our new sports teams are doing great so far. And as for the baseball team, looks like they'll be no longer. The Dean of Athletics recently decided to cut off the baseball team's equipment supplies. So we will no longer have a baseball team. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sad, but looks like some of those baseball players are going to take up skiing and crew, and maybe even squash. So those teams will be great. And that's it, because there's no more news, and it's an off season for everyone. So goodbye.
Thanks, Gabe. I'm Jonathan Ha, bringing you the terrible weather this week. Thursday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 32. On Friday, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 36 degrees and a low of 25. And then on Saturday, we're looking at some snow later on in the day, a high of 35 degrees and a low of 26. And on Sunday, the storm of the century is going to hit. There's going to be tons and tons of snow. I hear 3 feet, maybe even 4. There's going to be a high of 32 degrees and a low of 24, but this is just going to be awful. On Monday, it's going to be cloudy. There'll be a high of 38 degrees, a low of 31, and maybe a 20% chance of any leftover snow or wintry mix that could still fall. And then on Tuesday, we're going to get a little bit back to normal. There's going to be a high of 56 degrees, a low of 48, partly cloudy skies, and a chance of rain of 10%. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 83 degrees. So the beginning of the week, you had to have your winter jackets. Now you can get out those shorts again. It'll be really nice. There'll be a low of 58 degrees during the night and only a 10% chance of rain. Well, that's it for the weather. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, John. I'm Gabe Bernstein.
And I'm Lauren Zipkin. Good luck with the aliens and zombies this week, Muhlenberg, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Please stand by. MBC News will return shortly.
Hi, welcome to MBC News. I'm Lauren Zipkin.
And I'm Gabe Bernstein.
So, Gabe, by any chance, did you catch the Hunger Games this weekend? I know everyone on campus was really ready to go, very excited about the movie.
As a matter of fact, I did. Prior to most of the people who probably saw it Thursday night at the midnight showing or Friday night, I actually saw it Sunday night. And while I did enjoy it, I liked the book a lot more.
The book is usually better than the movie, but I think they did a really good job, adapting the style of the book versus the style of the movie. They are two very different mediums.
And they did do a great job casting it, I will say.
Agreed.
So, Lauren, why don't you tell us what's going on this week on campus?
A Midsummer Night's Dream is currently running now through Sunday, April 1st in the Black Box Studio Theater in Trexler Pavilion. The second main stage play of the season is directed by Beth Schachter and has so far received excellent praise from the student body. Don't expect to score tickets at the box office, though. Ticket sales for this production have been phenomenal. In fact, the demand was so high that they had to add another performance, opening this past Tuesday instead of the planned opening Wednesday. Tickets are sold out, but definitely put yourself on a waiting list or ask around to see if anyone has an extra ticket, because you would not want to miss this performance. The class of 2014 Class Council will host M Factor Friday, March 30th at 7 p.m. in the Seegers Union event space. It is the student-run variety show where you can see your fellow classmates perform and compete for incredible prizes. You can buy tickets in the lobby of Seegers throughout the week, or you can personally buy them from a contestant. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is returning to Muhlenberg. This semester's performance of the musical Hit will take place Saturday, March 31st in the Red Door. The doors open at 11 p.m. and the movie will start at midnight, so be sure to come and get your seats early. Student Athlete Mentors, better known as SAM, is having a kickball tournament Sunday, April 1st at 2 p.m. It'll be 6 people per team. It costs $5 a person to compete, and you can consider that money well spent because SAM is donating all money earned to an organization for multiple sclerosis research. And a friendly reminder to all students that the course schedule for the fall 2012 semester is up on Capstone as of Friday, March 30th. Remember to look at the courses available, make a tentative schedule, and meet with your advisor before your registration time. To find out your registration time, feel free to look at the registrar's webpage. Well, that's all for news today. Now to Gabe with sports.
Thanks, Lauren. This past Thursday, the Mules baseball team defeated Albright by a score of 16-3. Junior starting pitcher Rob Shannon pitched 6 innings to pick up his 4th win of the year. Freshmen Austin Cush and juniors Tim Vellies and Ryan Recton pitched the 6th through 9th innings respectively. And as a whole, the pitching staff only surrendered 6 hits and combined for 6 strikeouts. This past Friday, they beat Baptist Bible as well by a score of 13-1. Freshman second baseman Danny Uswick had a big day at the plate, going 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. Freshman center fielder Jimmy Cody also came up huge, going 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs as well. Senior designated hitter Nick Busillo added 5 RBIs to the Mules' huge offensive output. A freshman quartet of pitchers led the Mules, as starter Philip Balsega and relievers David Anderson, Seth Fenster, and Nick Geis completely shut down the Baptist Bible hitters. On the Lady Mules side, the softball team recently won a doubleheader against Swarthmore this past Tuesday and split a doubleheader with Cortland State. The Lady Mules have been carried so far this season by the stellar hitting of sophomores Kelly Klein and Erica Wenzel and the great pitching of junior Angie Cisco and freshman Kelsey Jones. The women's lacrosse team is off to a great start as well, going 4-2 on the season so far. The Lady Mules have been led by top scorers sophomore Michelle Certosimo, junior Molly Davin, senior Angela Napolitano, and freshman Stephanie Umbach. That's all for sports. Now to John with the weather.
Thanks, Gabe. On Thursday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 52 degrees and a low of 32 degrees with a 10% chance of rain. On Friday, there's going to be some showers during the night with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 40 with a 30% chance of rain. Then on to Saturday, there's going to be a few showers, a high of 54, a low of 38, and a chance of rain of 30%. And on Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 60 degrees, a low of 45 degrees, and a 10% chance of rain. Moving on to Monday, it's going to warm up a little bit. It's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 73 degrees and a low of 51 and only a 10% chance of rain. On Tuesday, there will be a high of 64 degrees, a low of 41, and a 10% chance of rain. And on Wednesday, there will be a high of 58 degrees, a low of 41 degrees, and a 10% chance of rain. That's all for this week's weather. I'm Jonathan Hobb. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, John. I'm Gabe Bernstein.
And I'm Lauren Zipkin.
Have a fantastic week, Muhlenberg.